Welcome to Perspectives here at Advertising Week Europe. Perspectives is a series of inspiring conversations with remarkable working women leading busy and successful lives. And it's my pleasure to speak with Melanie Cook, who is the Director of Strategy at SapientRazorFish. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Pleasure to be here.
Thank you. So you are talking about such an interesting thing today. You're being interviewed. So can you tell us a little bit about what your talk's about?
Yes, it's about artificial intelligence versus intelligence augmentation. So it's about how we move forward with artificial intelligence, ensuring that humans and artificial intelligence are created as one system.
And could you talk a little bit more, because you were talking about the difference between artificial intelligence, when we were just speaking briefly, about the difference when humans are not involved and when they are involved, and it's so striking.
Yes, so let me give you an example of where humans are involved and not involved. So artificial intelligence systems where humans are not involved are things like automated weaponry. By definition, we can't have humans involved because they're likely to be going into war zones or perhaps radiated areas, unfortunately. Systems where humans are involved are things like the World Wide Web. So that is actually one big system of which artificial intelligence and humans work side by side together. Without humans, the World Wide Web is nothing. So there you have the biggest system in the world that drives our economy, that drives our progress, that drives our innovation, being an artificial intelligence that has humans involved, versus an equally important aspect of artificial intelligence in things like automated weaponry, but a much more targeted and small effect, relatively small effect, on humanity.
So do you think that this is something really that a woman would realize, as what you're talking about is the absence or lack, in the case without humans, of empathy? Some people are going to kill me for saying
yes.
that.
No, not at all, because I have data behind it. So
then it's okay if it has data.
Yes, there's data behind it, and it's published. So I've teamed up with the Economist Intelligence Unit to try and understand what exponential technologies and their impact is on leadership in the digital age. And we went around the world and collected 1,000 stories from middle managers, and we asked them, thinking about your leaders, both female and male, give us a really lovely story where your female leader or your male leader had a positive impact versus a story where your male or female leader had a negative impact. If you analyze the data, which we did, ironically, using artificial intelligence with human input, we found that the stories that included female leaders had an empathetic skew to it. So the things they had in common between male and female leaders, decisiveness and collaboration was very important. Both had that. The second thing they both had was expertise, which they're willing to share. Now, where the data started to diverge is that male leaders are far more decisive and solution-orientated when they're looking to drive decisions forward, whereas women are far more empathetic and perhaps take the softer side of what could be the possible outcomes of a decision that is taken.
So is this a field overall that not as many women are in?
I would say yes.
Yeah.
Yes, very definitely so. I have spoken at South by Southwest, for example, and I was in the artificial intelligence in the workplace stream, and there was definitely fewer women, even at somewhere like South by Southwest, which positively encourages women to to come and take part, and there's definitely fewer women in it. Yes.
Yeah, I would think so. Hopefully the ratios to that are changing.
I have my fingers crossed because I have a 5-month-old little girl.
Well, I wanted to talk to you about that because that is a trick. I mean, that's tricky. That's a little baby. You have a little baby.
I know. Yeah.
And it's tricky to be able to, I mean, you're working on some really big things, and to balance that or work with that, I'm very hesitant now to use the word balance because people hate it, although I like it, but I digress. You know, how do you pull all of those things together?
I make my decisions based on purpose. So my purpose is to make people in the workforce happier. It's quite simple. Because I believe if you're not happy at work, you can't help but bring it home because you're human and there's no tap that you turn off when you get home, which means it has a negative effect on your family life, whether you're male or female, whether you're a mum or a dad or a brother or a sister or a daughter or partner, it doesn't matter, you bring it home. And the way I make decisions is based on that purpose. I am going to spend my time making the workforce happier, then I'm going to make decisions that allow me to prioritize those things. I used to work for a CEO, and he said to me, one day we were chatting, and he said to me, you know what, I am a member of charities, I run this company globally, and I still have time in the day. And you might say that's because I have a brilliant PA and a team of people behind me and a board of directors. And he said, it's got a lot to do with that, but the main thing is that I make the right decisions. So it's never that you don't have enough time, it's that you're not necessarily making the right decisions. So I have held that true as a philosophy whilst I do juggle, balance, integrate my personal life with my purpose.
That's a good one.
Thanks.
I'm going to have to remember that one. So to build upon that, and as the last question, I'd just like to ask you if you have one piece of advice for yourself that has helped guide you, in addition to this terrific advice from the CEO, but one piece yourself that has helped guide you through your career and your life that you could share with us, what would it be?
Absolutely. Do whatever you're passionate about. I mean, it's so cliched to say, but if you're not passionate, you just don't do as good a job. So find that purpose and follow it, and let it take you wherever it needs to go.
Well, it definitely seems that you're doing that. So
Thank you.
thank you for talking with us.
Not
Thank
at
you.
all.
And thank you